Okay, all right, guys. So this is the DaVinci Resolve episode. Okay, so for DaVinci Resolve, it is free as well. Okay, you can download it at their website, and yep. So it's very similar. A lot of editing softwares are actually very similar. Previously, we looked at iMovie, but for this, it's called DaVinci Resolve. So you can see that you can create a new project, a new folder, and stuff like that. Similar to your iMovie, go and create a new project, create, and voila. So this is your editing base. Okay, media pool. Okay, very similar to previously. Saying transition, titles, effects, very similar. So you don't have to be you don't have to be afraid of jumping into a more professional editing tool as compared to a more amateur one. Okay, because most of them are very similar. So I'm gonna use the same clips. Okay, so what I did is I just right click on the media pool, import media, which is importing your clips. Okay, over here open, and okay, different frame rate change. Okay, so what it's trying to say is that some of the clips, right, that I have recorded in, right, have more frames compared to the other. Okay, so over here you can create a new timeline. A timeline is also your sequence. Okay, so there's custom, which most of us will usually use. Okay, when you use custom, which is better, format. Over here you can choose a certain type of format. Okay, but the thing about the free DaVinci Resolve, right, is that not a lot of the functions you can use. But the good thing about this is there's no watermark. So for those who are concerned about the watermark, right, you can just use iMovie or DaVinci Resolve. Alright, so Cinescope is like the black bars that you have when you watch a film. Okay, so we're gonna have the usual 1920 1080p high definition, frame rate 30 frames or 25 frames. Okay, monitor. Your monitor is your display monitor. When you are very similar to iMovie, when you are editing it, you can see it for yourself. Alright, so we're gonna choose HD 1080p, dual link video. Okay, can output. So your output, you can use the same kind of settings that you have placed on your timeline for your output settings. So yes, so we want to use the same one. Okay, create, and there you have it. So this is your timeline. Okay, which is over here at the bottom. Again, most of the time your audio is going to be at the bottom, your video is going to be at the top. Okay, so over here you can check this is your media pool. Okay, your different types of you can just put it here. This is cut media. Cut is your edit, color and all that. So it's like from start to finish. You want to find where your files is, you import them in here, put it to cut. You can cut it down and all that, and once you put it here, yep, you can more or less, yeah, you can cut how long you want a certain clip to be. So this is more or less like how you can cut individually. Okay, so you can cut it by doing this. So over here is how long you want a certain clip to be. So this is not your editing timeline. Editing timeline is over here. You click on edit. Wow, my face is there. Okay, but so you can just put it here. V1, A1. So V1 is your video one timeline. A1 is it's like a layer. So you drag it down and there you have it. So similar. So this is how you can extend and all that to your timeline. Okay, and let me see if I can, yeah, so you can drag it up, drag it down for you to have a more like yep. Okay, so over here you can trim it. So over here you can press C. Yep, so over here you can press, so this is your trim edit and all that, but most of the time we'll be using this function called the blade edit tool, blade edit mode. So when you press B, you can simply just cut it. So it's basically like your split clip. So for example, you do not want this anymore, press B. If you don't want, press A, just cut it, and delete. So there you have it. Space bar over here. Yep, this is more extensive. This is more a professional kind of editing software that you can use. Okay, all right, so I'm not going to go on to all this because it's a bit more extensive. I'm just going to show you how you can use this. I mean, it really depends on how you want to use it. So over here you can go over to the effects library. Likewise, they have a lot of transition for you to use. You can just drag it and all that. Why won't it work? So you can have a lot of so over here you can go to the effects library for you to use a lot of your transitions. So you can just click to any of this here. Okay, effects and all that. Okay, audio effects as well. So I'm not gonna go too deep into it. And yep, sound library, a very similar function. And what is this? Yep. Then next, Fusion. Fusion is your Fusion is, what is Fusion? Okay, I'm not going to share about Fusion. I'm going to share about color. So color is how you can color your video. This is more again, it's more detailed. You wanna, if so yeah, you can go on and explore it for yourself. And once you are done, you can edit, you can put in music and all that. Once you are done, you can just click deliver. Deliver is when you are more or less done with your video, and over here you can choose the certain type of format. So they have a lot of presets. They have YouTube, Vimeo, ProRes, which is your higher kind of compression, Final Cut Pro 7, Premiere. So for example, if you want to export it to Premiere and you want to edit more on Premiere, you can. Okay, so yep, so H.264 is probably one of the more used compression, more used video format. So over here you can see QuickTime 25 frames. Keep that, and there you have it. Then once you are done, just press start render. Okay, so for the in and out range, right, you can just, your in and out range is your this one. Okay, your in and out range, you can just click. For example, you just want to export from 0 seconds to 31 seconds. So you can just choose that. So in and out range, add to render queue, it will be on the right. So this is where your video is gonna be. So Superman over here on the right, and all you have to do is just press start render queue, and when it start rendering, the job will be done. And there you have it, guys. You can just use that to upload it to your Facebook and your YouTube and so on and so forth. All right. Okay, so now it's done, and let's go over to the desktop. Yep, there you have it. So there's no watermark. You can use this. I will highly encourage you, if you do not have any, I didn't go too much in depth because it's very similar to iMovie. And yeah, and so yeah, you can just edit this with so you can just use this. Alright guys, so there you have it. This is just a short brief of how you can use the incredible DaVinci Resolve. So DaVinci Resolve, it's just the free version, but for the professionals, we usually purchase the entire software, because with the entire software you can use it for multiple things. Okay, so Again, guys, you can use iMovie or DaVinci Resolve for your editing, and both of them are actually free. All right.